My name is Aran and this is my fertility journey. My fertility journey almost didn't happen because of me. It was the middle of COVID and I was helping with the hospitals when there were extra shifts that were needed during the middle of the pandemic. I was helping take iPads to patients who were dying so they could say goodbye to their loved ones, and helping nurses turn patients and stock PPE and help with COVID rooms. So I was really overwhelmed at the time, and I got a message from a man online that I almost didn't respond back to. Well, I responded back to it first and then kind of got burnt out and ignored, and came back to later when we were getting into the period where we actually had a vaccine and things seemed more hopeful. And luckily, Crhs was a very understanding man and took me up on that date almost 9 months later. And again, it's just amazing that you can still meet someone during COVID. Our first date was a Zoom date. Our second date was a walk in the park because things still weren't that safe. And we'd actually opened the first COVID vaccine clinic in Bloomington, Indiana. So then we were helping with COVID vaccine shifts and working really long days just to get people in and get them vaccinated. I actually remember Crhs bringing me a chai latte on one of those really long days where we were just helping. I think at the time it was the 70 and 80-year-olds who were getting vaccinated. So we somehow found love in the midst of COVID, and it worked out. We then down the line tried to start having a family, which was more difficult than we expected. We got pregnant the first time on our own, and sadly that led to a miscarriage. Later, when we were seeking fertility services, we were doing Clomid and trigger shot, and that actually resulted in a pregnancy, but unfortunately that one led to miscarriage as well. We went to our fertility clinic where we are at now and did an IUI, which was miraculously successful on the first try, but unfortunately that one led to a miscarriage as well. So it's been a bit of a painful journey to have. We've had 3 miscarriages in less than a year, but we have every reason to be hopeful for the future. We have a great fertility clinic, which unfortunately there is no fertility care in Bloomington, Indiana, so we do have to drive an hour and a half away every time to go to our clinic. But we have really good doctors and nurses who are very hopeful that with IVF and genetic testing we may still have a chance to have a baby. We do have low ovarian reserve and low follicle count, and due in part to my age, because I'm a little bit older. Crhs and I met later in life, and there's nothing you can do about that. But we have also had recurrent miscarriage, which they have tested us for every test under the book, and they can't really figure out why. But there are some things they can do along the way with IVF to help mitigate that, and hopefully those losses will just be part of the journey to one day have a family. So I thank you for considering helping us to meet this goal of having a family, and thank you for all that you do.